Hey guys, Matt here and welcome to this late night episode of my fragrance obsession. I hope you're all doing very well. Now, I would like to commemorate this video to every single person out there who is into vintage fragrances. Now, I know it's been a while since I actually did a sort of vintage fragrance review. So I thought I would go back to sort of my old ways. Now, Avon are a funny house. I don't really tend to, really look into a lot of fragrances from this house. I mean, I do own quite a few Avon scents, which I do think are really good. But they do also have a lot of fragrances from their company which aren't really that good. I can totally understand why people, wouldn't really look into this house. For a lot of reasons. A lot of their fragrances aren't really interesting, they're a little bit synthetic, they don't really have anything new. And I find that with a lot of Avon scents today, they're a little bit like that. They're not really interesting, they don't have the scent life, so, it's not really worth investing into any Avon scents. However, if you guys happen to come across any vintage Avon scents, then you are in for one hell of a ride, because for some reason, vintage Avon fragrances are pretty fantastic. And I happened to find this one in an antique store when I was in the United States, and I think I only paid like $1 for this. And this fragrance came out in 1963, and I didn't really know anything about it until looking up on, Fragrantica and, all the other fragrance directories. And this fragrance is for women, yet doesn't really bother me, as you guys know. It smells amazing, and it's called Occur. Now, you can't really see the writing on the front, but the writing on the front is really cool. I couldn't really tell you what year this bottle's from. However, I do know it is really old because it does have the old atomizer on the top. I do enjoy wearing this one, if I'm honest with you. It has a lot of really masculine qualities about it, and I don't know if that's due to the fact that it is old, or if older perfumes had sort of masculine qualities to them. I mean, I don't know. But looking at the notes, there are a lot of masculine notes to it. So that is one of the reasons why I mainly wear this fragrance. But it does smell incredible. And I thought, hey, you know what? It's late at night, my parents are in bed. Why don't I go downstairs and review Occur by Avon? So guys, I'm going to shut up and we're going to talk about the presentation. Now, the presentation for Occur by Avon, this is what the bottle design looks like. Now, I'm pretty sure this fragrance has gone through various different bottle designs over the years. If you guys are, Avon fanatics, then you'll be fully aware of, all the figurines that Avon had out, in the sort of late 1960s, early 1970s. In case you guys didn't know, Avon used to create a lot of, really cool bottle designs, and they would store a lot of their fragrances and perfumes in these figurines. And since then, in today's world, they're considered collectible items, and I do actually own quite a few of them. However, this one I do have in its original bottle design. We get this really dark black bottle. However, if you shine it in light, it comes up showing up like a sort of dark purple. It's really nice. We get Occur in gold writing in the center there. We get a gold cap which comes off like this, and we do get this atomizer. Yes, it looks cheap, but it does look very old, and like I said before, I do like that about this fragrance. That is pretty much all we get. It's quite a boring looking bottle, but yeah, we get a sticker on the bottom here which says Occur! Cologne spray. That's got like a batch code on the bottom. However, it's pointless really researching it because it is old. So yeah, so guys, let's talk a little bit more about this fragrance and then onto the smell. Thank you for watching. Now, since I've been in the States, I've come across so many different types of vintage scents. This one is one of my favorites. However, I did find this one as well, in case there's any people out there who have heard of this fragrance. This one is also from Avon, and it's called Timeless. I'll be doing a review on this one as well in the near future. Yeah, it's amazing, but I'm not going to mention too much about it. So, very unique smell. I will be getting onto it in a minute, but a little bit more about how I came across it. I was actually visiting a town in North Carolina called Lexington. Beautiful town. It was literally, I think it was the second time I'd ever been there. And I went into this antique store and I found like this large shelf just filled with like loads of different antiques, like plates and different sort of like cutlery and stuff like that. And then I looked down and I saw this drawer, and I looked in it, and there they all were, just all of these vintage fragrances, mostly from Avon. A lot of them were empty, however this one was pretty much full to the top, but I am sparing it as well because obviously this is a discontinued scent as far as I'm aware. Yeah, I'm really happy to have found this, and yeah, I really cannot wait to give you guys my overall review on the smell. So here we go. Now I'm going to spray this just on my hand here. Spray is actually pretty good for, you know, for an old scent. Pretty good. It gives you a lot, so if you do own this exact bottle, do go easy on the trigger, okay? Now, Occur by Avon is actually a Chypre floral, and it is for women. However, again, it doesn't really matter. It was launched in 1963, and the top notes are gardenia, cardamom, coriander, bergamot, and aldehydes. So, as soon as you spray this fragrance to your skin, you just get this blast of aldehydes. It's very reminiscent, again, to a lot of older women's fragrances. Very feminine, although it's later on where it starts to dry down more masculine. But at this point, very feminine, very floral. You get a lot of gardenia, you get a ton of carnation. Like, the carnation is probably the strongest floral in the opening of this fragrance. Although you do get quite a bit of coriander. Yeah, a little bit of bergamot, creating a little bit of a citrus, but overall, I think the citruses have died down in this. It might be because it's old, I don't know, but the florals are very powerful in this scent. But it's the aldehydes which really give this fragrance that strong, potent smell. Like, say if I was like to smell this fragrance for the first time, and if I had to like pinpoint on what it smelled like in terms of giving it like different words, I would say that this fragrance was very deep. It's a very deep, dark and mysterious smell. Like, I can imagine at this point a woman wearing a dark black dress, wearing red lipstick, wearing this scent. That's the sort of vibe I get with it. I wouldn't necessarily say that it was a dated smell either. I mean, even though it comes across from the first spray, it does smell like a strong, mature lady's fragrance, you know, from the 1960s. Doesn't smell overall dated. It has that timeless edge to it. It's really nice at this point. But definitely not my favorite part of the fragrance. We're going to get into my favorite part in just a sec, but let's get on talking about the middle notes. Now, the middle notes for this fragrance, we get vetiver, carnation, jasmine, patchouli, styrax, myrrh, rose, and lily of the valley. So it's the same really with all of these older scents. They feature a lot of notes. And with this fragrance, it's just floral. It smells at this point like a bouquet of flowers. So once it's been on your skin for probably about 20 minutes, once it starts to dry down and becomes a bit softer on your skin, you do get a lot of rich jasmine, and you do start to get a very nice blast of what, to me, it doesn't really smell like myrrh. It actually smells a little bit more like a frankincense as opposed to a myrrh. Like, if you guys have ever come across the smell of frankincense, it's very smoky, but it has that oriental-esque smell to it. So it's kind of like an amber meets a frankincense. I wouldn't really say it was a myrrh, to be honest. You get a lot of rose and lily of the valley as well. I think the rose is very traditional smelling, and it's the same with that lily of the valley. Both very traditional floral smells. In fact, you know, rose and lily of the valley have been used in perfumery for just centuries, you know. And this one is definitely one of the oldest roses and one of the oldest lilies that I probably would say that I had in my collection. But it is absolutely stunning at this point. It's keeping that dark edge. It's definitely a lot softer at this point, but it's so incredibly beautiful. But let's get on to my favorite part, which is the dry down. Now, in the base, we get a lot of masculine notes. We get musk, oak moss, amber, vanilla, castoreum, civet, coconut, leather, and honey. Now, this fragrance in the dry down has a lot of interesting notes. It has a lot of masculine notes, so it has a lot of musk, oak moss, and a little bit of vanilla, giving it that sort of light creamy smell. But The one thing that I love probably most about this whole fragrance, and you do smell it from the first spray, is the civet is so strong in this fragrance. Very animalic and kind of creates that dirty smell to it, if you know what I mean. But the coconut, very interesting note. I don't know if I get coconut, if I'm honest with you. I mean, maybe like the tiniest touch, but not enough for it to completely win me over and to believe that there's coconut in this scent. But guys, this is an amazing fragrance. It's just so dark, it's deep, it's mysterious, it's wonderful. Like, yeah, it's really, really nice. So guys, if there are, any men out there who, really aren't afraid to wear fragrances that they like, then I think this is a great fragrance to go for. This is probably the best example because even though it smells feminine at first, you just got to really be patient, I guess, and just let it die down to become that sort of nice masculine smell. It's the dry down that's probably is my favorite part of this whole fragrance. It's stunning, it really is, and I cannot believe that nobody really talks about this fragrance. Like I've heard a lot of people talk about, really vintage scents, like even today as well, like Chanel number 5, there's Miss Dior. Yes, they come from huge houses, but this one to me is a gem from the house of Avon, and I just love it. I don't know what it is. It's just so rich, very rich, and it's only a cologne spray. Like it smells like an eau de parfum, and it lasts like an eau de parfum. I get easily about 12 hours out of this. It's so potent. This will be on my skin till tomorrow morning. It's just so strong. But it has died down now, and it's just beautiful. Like I'm just getting a lot of that jasmine now, and a lot of that patchouli. It's really, really nice. It's very herbal, but definitely has that sort of animalic edge to it. Just a beautiful fragrance, guys. Probably one of the best floral chypres that I've come across. It's stunning. I would love to see some more people talking about this fragrance. It really is a beautiful scent, and I would highly recommend you guys actually go out and try and find this. It's an amazing scent. If you want to try and find it, I would recommend looking in antique stores, guys, because that's where I found my bottle from, and I've never looked back. Seriously, it's an amazing scent. So guys, I would like to say a big thank you for watching this review. It is very late right now and I'm so tired. So I'm going to go to bed and wear this fragrance and just dream away. Good night and keep smelling good. Bye bye for now.